So, first and foremost, thank you very much for the opportunity. The USA stop work order came as a big surprise because it came without clear warning. It came quite suddenly and quite abruptly. So, it really created a lot of psychological trauma for persons living with HIV. Because, as you know, these persons depend on ARVs for their daily survival. If you miss your medication for a single day, it's life threatening. So, for people who are on treatment, that announcement came as a big shock. And as I said, it created a lot of psychological trauma. People were wondering what is going to happen next. And we were very happy when the government, about 2 weeks ago, came out with a statement indicating that they were committed to finding extra resources to show up the differences that the funding gap from the US government was going to create. And then some few days ago, we saw the president also talk to the media, I think the international media it was, and he also made a commitment once again that when our budget is read, they're going to make provisions for extra money to be made available to fill in the gap that the USAID funding freeze will create. So for us, we welcome that particular commitment. And just yesterday, during the State of the Nation address, the president once again reaffirmed that commitment. So it's good news to find out that yes, your leader really cares about the situation and wants to do something about it. So what we are hoping for is that the ministers for finance and health will make sure that the president's commitment is translated into reality by ensuring that when the budget is read, these provisions will be made. And as we have said in our press statement, we are looking forward to the National HIV and AIDS Fund getting established. That is so critical because that will then give us the needed resources to be able to buy medications when we have to buy them. And then also to be able to educate the public, because there are many young people today who didn't experience the kind of campaigns that were waged some 10, 15, 20 years ago. So this new generation of young people, some of them are living their lives very recklessly, unaware of the dangers of HIV. So we hope that when the fund is established, the Ghana AIDS Commission, together with civil society organizations, NGOs, will be in a position to once again wage a campaign to educate the public about the menace of HIV and AIDS. Globally, there's a commitment that by 2030, we should be ending HIV and AIDS as a public health threat. So we are hoping that government will work with all partners, with all stakeholders to ensure that this becomes a reality. There's also a second proposal that we have made to government. And that second proposal is that we want government to consider supporting pharmaceutical companies in the country to produce antiretroviral medication locally in this country. Fortunately for us, that particular expertise, that particular know-how already exists. Because since 2005, we have been producing pockets of ARVs in the country, except that we've not had that support from government for persons living with HIV in Ghana to access these drugs. So we are hoping that, learning from the current situation, government is going to support pharmaceutical companies in the country so that we will start local manufacturing of antiretroviral drugs in the country. Last year, what happened was really embarrassing. It was really unacceptable. that as a sovereign state, you have a responsibility to your own people, but you're unable to fully discharge all those responsibilities. And another entity decides to support you, but then you put encumbrances on the way of this external support by way of your own domestic tax issues. I think what happened last year was really, really, really an eyesore, and it should never happen again. It should never happen again that commodities, life-saving antiretroviral and life-saving antiretroviral medications will be made available free of charge, and then for whatever reason, government will say we are having challenges in clearing them. Fortunately, after the incident, we've not had any such hold up of our commodities again. I'm aware of a committee that was set up to investigate the matter. I'm just praying that learnings from that committee's work will guide us going forward. At the time when the incident happened, the current government was then in opposition, and I remember promises and commitments that were made that they were going to ensure that if they came into power, that kind of situation was not going to repeat itself. So now that they are in power, we are hoping and praying that indeed they will keep to their word, and what happened last year will not happen again. So this is where I think it is important for us as a country to revisit the Abuja Declaration of 2001. In that Abuja Declaration, African countries, under the auspices of the African Union, made a commitment to commit not less than 15% of their annual budgets to the health sector. And this commitment was made because it was realized that African countries were lagging behind when it comes to health issues. So to shore up the differences, it was agreed upon that we will be committing at least 50% of our budget to the health sector. Quite unfortunately, many countries have not been able to achieve these targets, inclusive of Ghana. We've not been able, the best we've done has been about 8% or 10% and thereabouts. We've never gone beyond that. So looking at the situation now, looking at how critical this US funding freeze is going to have on our health sector, I think this is the time for the finance minister and the health minister to sit down and look at how best we can commit more resources towards the health sector. We want to see at least 15% of the budget going in the direction of the health sector. And we also want to see the finance minister announce in parliament that the National HIV and AIDS Fund has been established and X amount has been committed into the fund. I will be very happy, and I'm sure all stakeholders in the fight against HIV will be very happy to see the finance minister go into parliament to make such a commitment.
All right, thank you.
Most welcome.
All right.